Hey guys, it's Cece, and today I'm going to be talking all about my bullet journal. So this is my bullet journal. I just started one in March, the very beginning of March, and as it turns out, it's been really useful for me, so I thought I would give you a tour of my bullet journal, talk a little bit more about what's inside here. So, the brand of bullet journal that I have, this is a Rhodia. I think it was recommended to me from one of the various blogs that I looked at when I was starting this, and it is the dot grid version. Before I open it up, I wanted to tell you a little bit more about my supplies. So for my black pens, the thing that I mostly use is these Pigma Micron pens. They were a gift from Janelle. And then for most of my color, I use these Staedtler Triplus fine liner. Also, I stole these from Janelle. We have a huge bag of them, but these are the ones that I mainly use. Also, a pretty big fan of this straight edge that I've gotten to use. It's pretty great. So let's open this guy up. The first page in here is just my name. There's really no other introduction than that. This is my bullet journal. And then the first full page that we have in here is my index. I have 2 pages worth of index, but I don't actually think I'm going to use them. I've been numbering the bullet journal myself as I've gone along, so this is just my way of going through, seeing where everything is. And let's jump into the first page, kind of, that isn't just like necessity. So I really just wanted a page that was the full calendar of the year that I could look back on every time I needed to make another calendar, that I could circle important dates. I just wanted a space for all of the times of the year, which is why this is in here. The purple circles, like these, those are birthdays. The red circles are holidays. And then the blue circles are just really important dates that are only important to me. So I only have 2 of those, and that's in February. I have mine and Janelle's anniversary circled, and in May I have the day I'm graduating circled. So that is what this is. It's just a good way for me to keep track of the entire year and how much space various calendars are going to need. Both of these pages, and as are most of these, were ideas that I got from Pinterest. I have a journal board that's all for my bullet journal ideas. So first of all, over here we have 2017 in pixels. Obviously for the first 2 months of the year I just have X's because I didn't have a bullet journal then, but then it starts down on February 28th and I've been continuing it since then. So I have my little key, and this is just a way for me to look back at the end of the month or at the end of the year and see how my mood was, see how I was feeling. Plus I had to include a little quote, and I had to of course go with a Harry Potter quote. Just because you have the emotional range of a teaspoon doesn't mean we all have, by Hermione. I felt like it suited this page really nicely. The next page is obviously a birthday page, so this is just a way for me to keep track of all of the birthdays of everybody I know. I really liked this circle setup with the little lines. I thought it was really useful. This is good for keeping track of how I'm feeling so I can remember, and then also I really need a chart of this sometimes to keep track of everybody that I know. So now we're getting into a book page. So these are things that you guys might already know about. My top 15 to read in 2017. This was a video I did back in December that I bring up every single month because I'm reading at least 1 book a month from this list. So I've only checked off 3 of the actual ones on my list so far. If I need to reread a first book, that also got listed on here. Like, I'm rereading The Rook. I had to reread A Darker Shade of Magic before I got to their second books in the series. But this is a list of everything that I have to check off by the end of the year. And then, again, pretty self-explanatory. This is my series to finish. So everyone has the name of the series as best as I could remember it, and then the number of books in the series with the number checked off. The only series that I finished on this list thus far is Queen of the Tearling. I finished all 3 books since creating this page. Hopefully I'll be checking off a few more of these boxes soon, like maybe the Zero series is getting another box, maybe A Court of Thorns and Roses is getting another box. I wanted to leave an additional page over here so I could add more series as I went along, because when I made it, I had it down to Nemesis, and I was like, well, obviously I'm going to eventually need more spaces, and then literally 2 weeks later, I needed a spot for A Court of Thorns and Roses. Next page over is a pretty standard bullet journal collection, I would say, and that is the TV show tracker. So this is a way for me to keep track of the shows I'm watching, how many episodes I've seen. I started it back when we were watching American Horror Story Hotel, which I've since finished, so all of those are checked off. I'm slowly but surely doing a Buffy the Vampire Slayer rewatch, but I mean slowly, like one episode a week. So I don't think that this is going to be finished by the end of 2017. I think it's going to have to move over and include some of the later series. I have Penny Dreadful on here as a maybe. Like, maybe I'll watch Penny Dreadful. We'll see. Sailor Moon. If you're curious about why the episodes are not all of the episodes, it's because when Janelle and I watched it, we did a special watch where it was the best way to watch it while skipping some of the really annoying filler episodes, I guess. There's a whole method to watching it that's really useful. I'll leave a website down below so you can see what that method is. But then I left myself a little bit of room for season 3 because as soon as the dub of the second part of season 3 comes out on DVD, we'll be finishing that. And then the last show that's on here is Brooklyn Nine-Nine because I randomly started watching it even though I have no time to watch it. Oops. And then I left myself another additional page to fill that out if I want to, and I know I'm going to have more TV shows, so I need another page for that. This page is my Happy Thoughts page, so it has my Think of a Wonderful Thought with a little sun. This just kind of gets filled out as I think of things. If I'm like, you know, I had a good day today. What made it a good day? Then I kind of jot down whatever it was. I just think that this is kind of a positivity page, which does continue on to the next page. The reason it continues onto this page is because this marker that I used initially bled through, so I was like, well, I guess you're getting a page 2. And so that one says, Any Merry Little Thought, to continue from the Think of a Wonderful from the other page. These obviously aren't completely filled in yet, but it's because I'm working on them as I go. This page is kind of silly, but I saw it on Pinterest and I thought it was really fun. It's just, you know, it's a lipstick log, so every time I put on a lipstick that I haven't put in here yet, I give the page a little kiss and I write down the name of that lipstick brand. So it's coming along fairly nicely. I don't actually have enough lipsticks to fill up all of these squares, but that means I just have to go and buy some new lipsticks. So this is one of the big pages that I definitely wanted to do when I started my bullet journal, and that is the Books Read in 2017 bookshelf. So I made the whole shelf, and then I put all of the little knickknacks on it. I'm going to add more, actually, because as it stands, I'm not going to fill up this bookshelf, so I'm going to add a few more knickknacks and such. And then every time I finish a book, I jot it down into one of my little book squares. So these are in order thus far, but that is how this is going for the year. And then by the end of the year, I'll have a full bookshelf of everything that I read in 2017, which is pretty exciting. Okay, so here are a couple of pages that I'm a pretty big fan of. First of all, we have gift ideas. I think of gift ideas throughout the year and then I never remember them when it's time to buy gifts. So when I saw this idea, I just thought it was really useful. And then on the other page, we have a places to travel bucket list. This is going to get longer as I go. I wanted to leave lots of space, but these are just a few of the places that Janelle and I talk about wanting to visit fairly frequently. So that's these two pages. And now we are getting into some of the more standard pages. I have more collections later on, but now we're getting into some of the organizational stuff that I use my bullet journal for. So first of all, this is my March page. This is a place for me to keep track of everything that I need to get done over the month. So at the beginning, I make my little list of all of the dates. I make my calendar. I have goals that I can add to throughout the year and my TBR. I make a list of all the videos I'm planning to film that month and offer like a little checklist. And then my favorite things box is empty when I start, and as I fill it out throughout the month, those become the things that I list in my favorites video at the end of the month. And then that goes into this page, which is my Thought a Day page. I wanted this to be an organizational tool, but I also wanted it to push me to work on journaling more, work on remembering things more. So a thought a day is just a way to force myself to constantly write down what I'm doing so that I have some kind of record of it when I'm older. So every single day I write down something that I did that day. I don't know, this kind of combines my planning but also memory. It's a good dual function for me as a bullet journal. Okay, so now over here, this is going to be a monthly page. I'm making it every month. So this is movies that I watched in March, which I've kept track of. Mostly these are movies that I've been watching for my Filming American Feminisms class. So this is just a fun way because I wrap up my movies at the end of the year. It's kind of cool to see what I watched each month. And that leads us into spring break. I wanted an intro page for spring break, so this is what I wound up drawing. So the first page of spring break was, in general, our plan. I wanted just a cute way to remember where we went, where we were going, why we were going. So we have the plan over on this page, dates, what, where, why. And then I got this little package of stickers at Michael's that I kind of used throughout while I was doing the spring break portion, just to make it feel a little bit more like a scrapbook at times. I just thought it adds a little bit of color and it's really fun. This is our map. I was in charge of doing the playlists for the trip, so I had to know exactly how long was going to be between each separate leg so that I could do the playlists for each of those things. You got little flashes of it. If you watched my spring break vlog, I used it to kind of tell you where we were every day. So then we have a packing list, pretty simple, don't feel like I need to explain that too much. And then I wanted another intro page because I wanted 2-page spreads for every single day that we were on our trip. So I wanted just a little, all right, here we're going, I need some 2-page spreads. So this is what every single page spread looks like for spring break. Over on one side, we have kind of general plans for the day, number of hours traveled, what we're going to get done. The fun facts and thoughts turned into silly thoughts or silly memories, and then this is just for any extra bits that I have. And then I wanted a full page for every day that I could use as my journal. So at the top I have my little, this is a journal page, and then I have a list of everywhere that we drove throughout that day, our beginning destination to our end destination, and then all of my thoughts. So that is what this looks like every day. So that's day 1. This is day 2. The extra bit that I put in here for this day was a ticket to go see the Breakers, which was a mansion in Newport. Day 3, so again, all the same stuff, and then my bonus is a little shop that we went to, a donut place that we ate multiple times in one day because it was so good. Then day 4, all the same, all laid out the same, but you know, different colors of course, with a little receipt for a shop that we went to while we were there. And then day 5, this was our last day, and so the extra bit I have in here is a ticket from when we went to see the Mystic Aquarium, and then this is my wrap-up page for the entirety of spring break. So first of all, we have where did we go? I found this map while we were in Boston, and it actually includes all but one spot that we went, and so I wanted to mark on this map with little red dots where we traveled, so I thought this was kind of cool to give us like a visual reference for how far we drove. And then I wanted to keep track of some quick trip things, so the total amount of time we drove, the total number of states that we actually saw. We played the license plate game throughout the trip, so these are all of the license plates that we saw over 6 days, and then these are the top 3 things that I think that we did while we were gone. I'm so proud of this page. I'm so proud of it. But then we get back into some of the more regular planning stuff. So back from spring break, I did my first weekly spread. So this is what my first weekly spread looked like. I wanted plenty of space to give lists and stuff. Initially, I had a notes section. I wasn't sure how I wanted to list my videos yet, so I was kind of all over the place. And we will get to another one of my weekly spreads later so I can show you how I can change. But first I have to interact with another couple of book collections. This is kind of out of place, but I saw the idea for this Goodreads goal page on Super Space Chick's channel. I'll leave the link to her video down below. But I really liked this idea of checking off boxes as I went along, so I created a Goodreads goal page. Every time I hit another milestone, I get to color it in. I'm somewhere in here right now. I think I've read like 27 books so far this year. Haven't been able to color in the 30 yet, but hopefully by the end of the year, I will reach my Goodreads goal of 100 books. Then over here, these are the 2017 reading goals that were in my 2017 goals video. I did one at the beginning of the year, and this is everything that I want to accomplish. So this was just another random collection that I put in here. Sometimes I'm really in the mood to draw and doodle and do collections and stuff, so they kind of end up in here anyway. Then we have another weekly spread, which I wanted to mess with a little bit. I put my title down at the bottom. Instead of a notes section, I had a videos section so I could check off what I needed to get done. I changed my video layout. I liked this. I thought it was interesting, but it was a little bit too plain for me. Just looking at it, I didn't wind up liking it that much, which is why it changed again. But before it changed again, I have another 2 collections to show you. Oops. So I also have these 2 collections that I just shoved in here. First of all is a keeping track of followers page. That's what this is. So every month, I started this on the 19th. So every month on the 19th, I will keep track of this. It's just a way to keep track of follower count and to see how my different accounts have grown. And then over here, I wanted an anticipated collections page. So on this side, we have anticipated 2017 released books and then anticipated movies. When I read the book or watch the movie, then that space gets colored in to be like, you did it! I really wanted both of these. Even though they're kind of randomly placed, I really wanted another collection to stick in here. But this is where my weekly spreads started feeling like I knew what I was doing and it looked the way I wanted it to look. So instead of having little dots, I added boxes just so it's easier to see when I've actually accomplished stuff versus when I need to move it to a new day. And then I had a video section and a notes section, which is something that I wound up really enjoying. I think I need notes to give me like general ideas, but also I like to keep track of my videos. So this is more what my weekly spreads I want them to look like from now on. But before we get into the next one, we have the beginning of April. So this is my April monthly spread, which I changed a little tiny bit to suit more what I wanted it to do. So we still have my keeping track of all the days, we still have my goals and my TBR, but my goals got a lot smaller just because I definitely didn't even come close to filling up my goals in March. And then my TBR is still the same. I gave myself a lot more room for videos because I just had like film and upload or something, and I wanted to have a way that I could go, have you planned it, have you filmed it, have you edited it, and then have you uploaded it. My favorite things is still running. I've only added one thing so far, the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them Honest trailer. And then I have my regular calendar for April, a little doodle, I just wanted to fill up the space, and then my little quote for this month is, try to live every day like Elle Woods after Warner told her she wasn't smart enough for law school. I just needed a little motivational thing every time I flip back to this page. Then we begin my thought a day for April. I wound up really liking my thought a day. I thought it was useful, but I made it even a little bit bigger. I took out the notes section, so I wanted to keep most of what I did for thought a day and just keep it the same. Then we have my movies in April. So far I've watched one movie in April. Oops, I'll be watching more, and then if I get beyond these first two, I will get beyond these first two, then I'll add more of the film reels. And then this is a page that was kind of random, but I wanted a pen tester page, so I haven't filled it up completely yet because I haven't used my other markers that aren't even over here. I haven't put those in here yet. This is just like fun and colorful and rainbowy, which is actually what inspired the last page that I have in here to show you, this weekly spread. I really got into the rainbow idea of it when I was doing my pen tester page, and I wanted to bring the rainbow in, and that's what this ended up looking like. I really liked keeping the boxes. I thought those were really useful. I liked the way that I've been doing my videos and the way I've been doing my events. And then I have my videos in a much longer list so I could keep track of them, and then my notes in a smaller section. So this is still getting worked around. My weekly is still changing a little bit, shifting as we go. But that's it. I have not done my new weekly spread yet, so that is everything that is in my bullet journal for 2017. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching. I hope that you enjoyed seeing everything that's inside my bullet journal. If you have questions about anything, please ask. If you have any resources that you use and you bullet journal and you're like, this is a great collection that you might want to do, this is a great thing that you might enjoy, send them my way. Leave them in the comments. I would love to see them. Do you bullet journal? What do you think about it? Yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed seeing the inside of my bullet journal, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!